The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers.
The Tom London Show.
Yeah! Good afternoon! We're a day late, but as my grandma used to say, don't take two servings of butter!
Thank you very much.
Right. I'm very excited about the show today. Hello to you wherever you join us from on the Tom London Show, broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, normally on a Tuesday and Thursday. Yesterday we had some power problems in Veltervreden Park, and I thought I don't want to take the chance. And I thought, let's just postpone it for a day, because if I do, I can put on someone. Wow, this is a reunion, you see, because a year ago, Alistair Jameson will know this, been deeply involved in my recovery there in Primrose Hill in Germiston. You'll know that when I was in Helen Joseph Hospital, it wasn't just me alone. There were other people there too, other patients. And in Ward 8, there were eight of us. And the person I'm going to put on now is one of the people I was in hospital with. I've got a nice story to share with you as well. So do join us for the next hour as we chat about life, as we chat about the Helen Joseph Hospital. We talk about recovery and find out what our special guest this afternoon is doing now. The last time I saw him, he was doing nothing. He was lying in bed with pipes sticking out his side. And hopefully he's got no pipe sticking out his side today. And so I invite you to join me today as I say a very warm hello to Kirstain. How's it, Kobus?
How's it? Thank you so much for having me on your show, man.
Yes, it's a pleasure. You know what the nice thing is that we're both alive.
We made it.
Hey, do you have that feeling as well, that you're like, just like I'm alive?
Yeah, no, look, after our experience there, obviously, we're both happy to be alive. Look, it turned out well for both of us, I think.
Yeah, I want to find out. People know my story, but I want to give some background and talk about your story as well and see how you're doing now. Yeah, it's so I got to tell a little story. We were in a ward with 8 men. There were 8 of us in total in that ward, and there was Nicholas in my, and the ward is partitioned. There's a wall that partitions you, so it's like 2 neighborhoods, but in the same city. But you don't really get to see the other side that much because you're lying in bed a lot. So I was on one half of the ward with, I think his name was Michael Collins, the guy opposite me, and then there was Nicholas, who sadly passed away. And there were 2 different guys in the bed next to me in the time that I was there. And then on the other side, there were people, some came and went, but the one constant person there was a guy called Kobus, who is on screen now. And we didn't have much to do or say to each other. I think we passed each other once or twice, like on the way to the loo. And Kobus had pipes sticking out the side of him, and he was carrying this machine around that was busy sucking fluids out or something. And I thought, oh, well, at least I'm not that sick. I don't have any pipes sticking out of me. And today I talked to you with 3 bullet hole wounds in the side of me where I had 3 pipes sticking out of me. Hey, those drainage pipes are not fun. Hey, but you also had lung problems when you went in.
That's right. Yes, I did. I can give you a bit of a background.
Yeah, please.
I got TB. I don't know. Everybody asks me where I got it. Did I get it from? I don't know.
It floats in the air. Yeah. Yeah.
And one of my lungs actually collapsed completely. And obviously, they say the lung it secretes fluids.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a healing process. And they drained 5 liters of fluids altogether out of my lung cavity.
Sure.
And obviously tried to get the lung to expand. And we got there mostly, but not fully. And after a year of in and out of hospital, I went to Joburg Gen to cut it short. Yeah. And I had my final op about 2 months ago, and it was a success. So
what op did you have?
It's an op where they go in between your intercostals. The
thoracotomy. Thoracotomy. So. You got that scar on behind your shoulder there.
This one.
Yeah, they did it. Hey, mine is 4 times as long as that one. Hold on a moment. How come Charlotte McEacher gave... What? I can't. I'm
I've
so
got two
fat.
doctors. What
I'm
did I
so
say? They're
fat. I
great
can't even
doctors.
lift my top up and show people. But my scar is 4 times that length. I'm jealous, man. What's the day? Did they go in and clean up?
They go in, cleaned up, stitched the lung together, got rid of most of the fluids. Major success. Obviously, the lung won't be 100% like it used to be.
Sure.
But I would say 85 to 90% full lung capacity.
Yeah, well, both
living
you
a
and
normal life.
yeah, both you and I are looking pretty normal to what we looked like a year ago.
We were sick. It's really no fun.
I know.
For sure.
And when people pass away in the ward you're in, you kind of realize you're in a ward where everyone's in a bit of trouble.
You know the sad thing, Thomas. The times that I was in, I've seen about 5 people pass away. 2 people passed away in the bed right next door to me, so it's quite scary.
It's traumatic as well. I don't know if the doctors and the staff realize this, but when you go through that, it's a hell of a trauma for everyone else in the ward.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when I went in for my final op, I was scared. I'll be honest with you. It was really traumatic. When I went into the theater, I was scared. I thought, oh, shucks, I better wake up here.
Yes, yes.
But you pull through, and even if you have a look at people passing away next to you, it scares you. So yeah. Obviously, it's not a fun experience.
Not at all. Not at all. People are. All I see in the message section is, "Come on, Tom, show us your scar." I might. While we were busy languishing away in Ward 8 a year ago, Alistair Jameson was fine. He was upright in his chair at home and about to start a Backer Buddy campaign, which saved my life. That's why he's so quiet at the moment, because he hasn't been operated. I haven't cracked his chest open and operated on his lungs yet, so he hasn't got much to contribute.
I have one question.
Yeah?
Thomas, how long ago did you stop smoking?
Oh, no, I smoked when I was in my 30s. I haven't been smoking for about 20 years.
He sounds like one of the doctors at Helen Joseph Hospital. That's who he's, they all say that. They all sound like that. People with
smoking for me. I don't even do this
vaping.
Vaping and stuff. I don't even do that. So no, nothing.
That's great.
So
that's good to hear.
So listen, there are people that come in there with lung cancer, never touched a cigarette in their lives. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I've seen that. It's crazy. So
in the ward that I was, there was a lady there. I mean, she was 30 and she had lung cancer and she never touched a cigarette in her life.
It happens with lung cancer. Look, if you're joining us and you'd like to put a question to anybody on the team today, we've got Alistair on board, but we've got Kirstain, who was a fellow ward mate of mine a year ago at Helen Joseph Hospital, on the line. And if you'd like to ask him a question, you can. I don't know how you saw the experience at Helen Joseph while I was there, but I was not impressed with the hospital at all.
It was a big story, and I actually liked it because you stood up for something that most people keep quiet about. And unfortunately, I have to agree with you, the service there was terrible. The doctors were okay, but I must say I got way better treatment at Joburg Gen than I did at Helen Joseph, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did anything improve when I kicked up the fuss that Saturday morning?
Will it ever? I don't think so, no.
Good question. I believe
they must probably be a little bit more careful how they treat people, hopefully.
Yes.
But in general, look, the experience at Joburg.
Well, tell us about Charlotte McEke then, because I haven't experienced that hospital lately.
You know what? I was thinking I was going to get more or less the same treatment that I did at Helen Joseph. And firstly, the staff was friendly. The nurses greeted you properly, treated you properly. I'm diabetic as well, so I have to inject myself. And some of the ladies came past and said, geez, like, are you injecting yourself? First time that they've ever seen it, because they usually do that.
Yes.
And they were very helpful, very friendly. You get your odd one here and there that you have a little bit
having a bad day,
Yeah, she's just not in the mood for you or whatever. That happens to everybody. But my overall experience there was great. Obviously, it's scary.
Yes.
But it's great that the treatment, the doctors there were brilliant. Seriously, oh my word! The way that they explained everything to
Really,
me.
you know, I almost had my op at Charlotte McKeke.
Oh, you wouldn't have been sorry.
And I had no problem going to Charlotte McKeke and having my operation. But I had a doctor, one of my doctors who was treating me, came to me, and there were a couple of doctors, and we're talking about what we could do, because I didn't have the money. You know, at that time they were saying 800,000 rand for the op, and it was just a huge amount of money. And they were like, we could probably get you into Charlotte McKeke and get you operated on pretty quickly. And now that you've made such a splash, you probably jumped the queue. We could get you in there next week. And I thought, okay, well, there's a solution. And then when all the other doctors had left the room, one doctor leaned over and said, but Tom, how ethical is it to jump the queue when people have been waiting for the same op as you for 6 months? And I went, yes, like that's a problem, because actually I don't want to be the cause of someone suffering or passing away because I'm special and I jumped the queue because I made a noise. And that's what made me go down the private route without knowing whether we were going to get any money. I thought, you know what, I can't be that kind of person. I hate people who jump queues, so I'm not going to do it. But I almost went, and I knew in my heart that if I got to Charlotte McKeke, that I'd be okay, that I'd get the very best people working on me. And I think, I mean, the evidence of that is you today. Your life is saved, and you're looking well, Kobus.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I feel great, I'll be honest.
Good.
Living a normal life again, and it's really great.
Do you still live in the area? You used to live in Veltevreden Park.
Very close to. I moved into my grandmother's place in White Ridge. I don't know if you know.
No, where's White Ridge?
Close to the Burger High School.
All right. All right, got it.
Newlands, between Newlands and Bergbron, that area.
We're not far. We're not too far away from each other.
5 minutes drive.
Let's check the comments and see what you got to say as you join us today. I reunite with a fellow ward mate, Helen Joseph Hospital, 1 year ago. He's also got some exciting news about the business he's got, and we'll share that information with you. Unagaida says, hello, everybody. Helen Mitbach is on board. Heather Grun says, hello there. So does Margaret Guider. Wendy Kutsia is on board. Glenda Lowden says, good day to all the dysfunctionals. Rosie Brown offers you some flowers. Baran Glaus says, hi all. Gail Mortensen says, happy Friday, folks. What a great way to kickstart the weekend into fifth gear, watching the Tom London Show in action. Thank you, Gail. Una says, hello, Kobus. Lynn Pruse says, hi from Ireland. Emily Hudson says, hello, my beautiful people and friends. Will be watching on PC. Going to be exciting. Hi, Kobus. Heidi van Nieuwenhuizen says, hello to Tom and Kobus. Margaret Guider says, hello, Kobus. What a pleasure that you made it, sir. Welcome, Kobus. Afternoon family, says Patsy Redden-Case. Helen says, please ask Kobus to boost his volume. I don't think he can, so I'll boost it on my side, and hopefully that helps a little bit.
I can try.
That's all right. We'll just push the fader up here. Come on, Tom, show us your scar. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe after a Suzuki video. Heidi van Nieuwenhuizen says, wow, you guys look great. Have you seen, because I was so public, there are a lot of pictures and videos of me on the internet from a year ago, and I look at myself and I go, wow, am I the same guy? Do you ask yourself that question?
Especially if we see where we are today.
Yes.
I don't even know your whole story. I mean, I don't even know what happened to your lung and.
Well, the doctor came. I was one of the craziest days of my life, man. The doctors knew I didn't have the money for an 800,000 rand operation, so they were looking for all sorts of options. And then my pulmonologist came to me, and he said, "Look, we've got one of three options here, Tom." He said, one, we can go antibiotics and throw antibiotics at you, and that might fix it, and we think it could. That might be the option. And then he said, if it's a bit severe, then you know what, we'll put a pig's tail drain in, send you home, and let your lung drain for a week or two, and then antibiotics, you'll be okay. But worst case scenario, but we don't think we have to do that, is that we'll have to give you a thoracotomy and decortation, which I didn't even know what it meant, but I knew it's an operation. And so, he said, but I can't say until you've gone and done a sonar. So I went down to the x-ray department, so full of confidence. I'm like, in my mind, I'm going down, they're going to give me a sonar. The lady's going to smile and say, oh, how beautiful this all looks. And they'll give me a handful of antibiotics, and I'll go home and watch Netflix for 2 weeks. And so when the pulmonologist came back, I was fully expecting him to say, good news, here are your antibiotics, see you in 2 weeks. And he went, bad news. I've consulted with 4 other pulmonologists and cardiothoracic, and they all agree you need to be operated on or you're going to die. So yeah, I needed money, and then I negotiated the hospital down, like way down. I said, don't give me anything fancy. Give me 2 blood tests a day instead of 20. And and they did. They found a way to bring everything and brought the price down. But then I still didn't have the money, and that's where Alistair, who's joins us every show, comes in, because he put a Backer Buddy account together. I didn't even know that he was doing it. And he put a Backer Buddy account together, and it raised enough money for me to go have the operation at Morningside Clinic, which, as you know, those operations save your life. So that's my story. I was saved by the kindness of my fellow man, which is a very humbling experience.
Such good news, man, that there's still people like that out there.
They
it's
are.
Wonderful.
No, they're good people. Yeah. They're good people in this country. Hey?
I had more or less the same experience. I went in to hospital thinking, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I was turning around in the evenings, and my wife would actually hear water, a water effect, like in my body. Sloshing of water. And it was quite peculiar, because what do you make of that? I had the lung thing, but I wasn't sure what was going on.
Isn't it weird?
Or something.
Isn't it weird? Because I had about at least 3 liters in my left pleural cavity, and I had no idea, man, until the very last moment when it hurt like hell and I couldn't breathe. Yeah. Up to that point, I walked around with fluid in me that I had no idea was in there.
And it's funny that you can actually function like that. It's just.
I also think so, because I was working the day up until I landed up in hospital. I was doing a full day's work. It was.
Same thing.
So I often tell my friends that before Helen Joseph and my story there, I didn't know what dying felt like. Because I'd never done it before. But when I gave it a try, I didn't know. Oh my goodness, this is dying, until someone said, "You are dying," and then I went, "Oh wow!" So this is how sick you have to. It was crazy, because I didn't feel as sick as I thought you have to. Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, let's see what other people have got to say. I'm so happy for you, Kobus and Tom. You are both strong soldiers, in my opinion. It's been tough. Has it been a tough road for you, physically?
Yes. It's been very traumatic for me, my family, everybody involved, to be dead honest. You never think of all the things that could happen to your family while you're there. It's like there's no more transport for the kids. There's kids needing their dad. I've got 4 kids, and one of them is a CP child that needs my attention all the time. So getting somebody to look after him, wife trying to cope with all the kids and all their stuff and things like that. It's really, it makes you feel valued after all. But when you're there, you feel like, oh shucks, man, what's happening now?
Very disempowering feeling, lying in a hospital for a long time. Feels like your power has been taken away.
Yes, exactly that. Yes.
All right, well, I mean, people know what I've been doing since my op, because I've been on screen and building the show, but we want to know what you've been doing. I want you to tell us about the business you've got and what you're getting up to. And then Alistair, I'm sure he's got another question by now. And then I might show my scar. I might show my scar. But we have to also talk about the stolen cell phone story while I was in the ward, which is
I'm so glad you remember it.
Which is a good one. All right, so we're going to do all of that in a moment. But first, a word from our sponsor, Suzuki Kyalami. Here's the main man there, Mario Beltran.
Hi, Mario here. Buying a Suzuki from us is just the beginning of our relationship.
Hi, I'm Cicero, one of the senior service advisors. Now that you've bought your new Suzuki, once the car's due for service, we will obviously guide you through that process. We are open Monday to Friday from 7 until 5, on Saturdays between 8 and 1 for services. Remember, we are here for you. If you need any advice or assistance, we will happily assist you. The door is always open.
Our business is based on people-first philosophy. We care about your vehicle and you. Come join us at Suzuki Kailami and Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers.
Yeah, you go along there and tell them you need a car. They got cars for Africa. You want to test drive a car? There are plenty of cars to test drive. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Tom London Show. I'm reuniting with a fellow ward mate of mine, Helen Joseph, Ward 8 from a year ago. Pop your comments in the comment section down below. If you've got a question for Kirstain, then send a message. If you want to say hi to Kirstain or ask him a question, pop the questions in the comments section down below. Alistair Jameson's with me today. Friday is Tonya Curry's busiest work day. So when I do a show on Friday, we lose Tonya, unfortunately. But she should be back with us next week on Tuesday. Now, but you see, the problem is I'm so fat, man. Yes, this is the problem, man.
I gained a lot of weight as well.
Did you? Because you come out of there, all I wanted was food. My body just wanted, and I ate so much food that I've become, again, at Blooms and Gifts at the Super Spa today, the lady said, "You are getting bigger and bigger," she said to me. Fatter and fatter. Normally they just say, "Hey, Tom, you're getting fat." This time they said you're getting fatter and fatter. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this without, but it's impossible. Okay, so can I? Facebook are going to get me for nudity here. I'm trying to do this without too much fat. Obviously, you're going to see I'm fat on this.
Oh, there we go.
You'll have to stand up because I can't see a thing. Ah, there it is. Goodness gracious me. That is a big cut, eh?
Yeah, I got 3 bullet holes on the side of me as well.
Yeah, I've also got a few of the bullet holes.
Yeah, there.
I think I was in about 3 or 4 times that they put those things in me. Eh?
Oh man, I saw that picture and I saw the screen as I'm doing that, and it's just not no wonder I don't have a girlfriend. No wonder.
I'm surprised at that. Have you seen my latest
Stop it.
car? Yeah.
Well, yeah, anyway, so now you saw the scar. It's only because I give the audience what they want. Got any?
Now the girls are going to come flooding forward.
No, definitely not. Okay, got any questions, Alistair? Alistair?
Huh? Sorry?
Have you got any questions?
I want to take you back to something that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The doctor said, "I don't want you to think, is it ethical for you to be jumping the queue?"
He asked me. He didn't say it isn't. He asked me. He said it's an interesting question that I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. No, my point to that is, if you are so sick that you need to be in an operating theatre, I don't care how many people you bump out the way.
But the problem is that everyone else that needs to go to that operating theatre is as sick or sicker than you. That's not healthy people lining up at the theatre.
Tom, you are at death's doorstep.
Yeah. But
You are at death's doorstep.
so is
I
everyone.
don't care how many people.
No, man, so is everyone else who's going for a thoracotomy and decortation. There are no healthy people going for that operation.
Okay. Now, if a doctor's in a triage situation and he's got 3 people in front of him,
Yeah, but that's in an emergency.
he's going to make a decision
but that's
as to who goes first.
for sure. But that's an emergency situation. When it comes to elective surgery, because
Was yours not an emergency?
well, yeah, maybe you can say it's emergency, but maybe you can say this guy can wait 2 or 3 weeks, and there's someone else who can't. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So listen. I desperately there was part of me that wanted to jump the queue and avoid the problem of trying to pay a private hospital. But there was also something inside me that went, I can't, because I do know how long. I know how long people wait for life-saving operations in this country. People wait a long time to get there. You know, and some don't make it.
I mean, we've got so many people in our own personal waiting list. Like
Yes.
Warren, he's still waiting for a shoulder.
That's right. I'm just calling Kirstain back because we lost him. We lost him for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Kirstain.
It's all right. He'll come back. He's back. Yeah, it's no problem. We didn't even know you were gone. All right. We'll talk about the stolen cell phone in just a moment. It's quite a funny story looking back. Gwen Sanders says, brilliant. Vanessa Schmidt is busy catching a ferry from Dover to France. Enjoy France. Gail Mortensen says, wonderful, both Kirstain and Tom recovered so well from the illnesses. Wendy Higgins says, the scar will eventually fade. I had 50 staples with my thoracotomy, and the scar is barely visible now. We're an exclusive club, Wendy. You can recognize us on the beach, eh? Karen Atwell says, good day, happy Friday. Heather Kroon says, nursing years ago was dedicated staff. Now it's just a job, so incredibly sad. Well, you know, I must say, the nurses at Helen Joseph, I didn't, actually, when I made my complaints, it wasn't about the nurses. They weren't the friendliest bunch of people, but I can say this for the nurses. At 4 o'clock, they woke everybody up. They made sure we were all washed. We had to wash ourselves. Do you remember that? The 4 a.m.
Horrible. 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 in the morning, and a bowl of water and a cloth. If you're lucky, and then you had to wash yourselves, and you were in trouble if you didn't. So they made sure we were clean. That's for sure. And I used to watch them on the handovers. They would talk about every patient as they came to the bed. So they obviously knew what was going on in the ward. And I didn't have as many complaints about the nurses as I did about other things. But anyway, those experiences are individual, and you can go in a week after me and have a completely different experience. Charlotte McEke is trying, says Una, especially their cancer ward. It's no 5-star hotel, but they've been trying their best with my friend. The thing that's always impressed me about Charlotte McEke, and I've been there so many times where the nurses change over shifts in the morning, and then they start singing gospel songs.
I love
Did you have that?
That was beautiful. Seriously, I love it.
Yeah, and I think in all the changes we implement in a healthcare system, we should not lose that and have more of it, because that soothes the nerves. And I'm not sure whether that is specific to Charlotte McEke or whether that happens in other hospitals. We didn't hear any singing in Helen Joseph, that's for sure.
I did in Ward 6. Ward 6, Helen Joseph, yeah.
Okay. And you had any singing in the healthcare system, Alistair?
When I spent my night and day in the ward at Berta Tower, I had them singing in the morning. Yeah,
I like that. We'll do the cell phone story in a moment, just clearing the comments. Joburg Gen has definitely got the edge over HJ. The hospital is improving slowly. Some seriously clever doctors and professors there, and I think you'd have to give some credit to the CEO of the hospital, because those things don't improve wholesale without a CEO being actively involved. Great feedback on Charlotte McEke, says Heidi. Hello, everyone, says Yvonne Duplessis. Beverly Lloyd is on board. Annette Jacobs is on board. Soraya Lara says, missed you. Hi, all. Gwen Doxis joins us, Doxy Sanders, rather, joins us from Perth, Australia. Natasha Morrissey is on board. Margaret Guida says, I'm proud of you that you gave someone else a chance at Joburg Genton. Was very big of you. I just couldn't jump the queue. Sherry Malherbe says, hello. Hello, Sherry. Brenda Hall says, hey, friends, actually great to see you again. It's been a long time from my side. Hope everyone says hello to you in the comment section, Brenda. Dillian Smith says, hi, everybody. B. Milner says, glad to know a doc kept to ethical standards. Yeah, it made me respect that doctor. He was my pulmonologist, and I got a lot of respect for him. I thought, wow, you're someone who thinks about ethics, and that's a good thing in our medical staff. What else we got here? I agree. South Africans always give, says Karen. Very kind humans. Thanks again, Alistair Jameson, for Tom's backer buddy. There isn't a day that I don't think about Alistair and how he put that together for me. Can we see your scorpion if you show your scar? Oh, we're not that close yet. Scar check, says Heidi. They just want to see your body. Well, there we go. Now they can share the disappointment. Wait, get a sponsor to show your scar. Suzuki Rock, says Kale. Your scar is on your Facebook. I know, but I wasn't as fat then. Moira LaRue says, you make me scared, Tom. Do you know what caused the problem? You know, that was the thing that when I had the op, Helen Joseph couldn't get to the root of it. They looked at everything. They looked at lung cancer, COPD, emphysema, all sorts of different HIV. They looked for everything, and everything came up negative. And then the experts at Mediclinic did the same. And some of the tests took weeks to culture. And so I only found out about 8 weeks later. And everyone was expecting some exotic bacteria that I'd got from some far-flung place. And in the end, the pulmonologist said to me, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was a garden common variety bacteria that we all get. Nothing special about the bacteria that... And I said, well, how did this happen to me? And he said, well, it just outran the antibiotics that I was taking orally at the time. The disease was stronger than the antibiotics, and I went backwards instead of forwards. So yeah, that's what caused the problem. I was standing next to someone when they coughed and I breathed in the air, probably. It's like as simple as that.
Probably same for me.
Same for you, yeah. Heather Groen says, that's a long scar, but it will fade. People for your exercise, says Una. Hey, you know. Your scar is healed superbly, Tom. Yeah, I'm happy. Left scapular scar. People know. Left scapular scar. You're not a fat boyki. You're very tall. There are other things to think or worry about. Not the girlfriend thing about... Daryl! I see no fat rolls. That's because I didn't go low enough. Scars are sexy, says Maureen LaRue. So we've turned one person on today. Hey!
Battle scars.
When people ask me what happened to me, they see my scars, I said I was shot 3 times in the ribs here, and then they cut me in the back to get the bullets out, and that impresses people. I say, you should have seen the other oak.
Which taxi were you in?
Exactly. Beauty is skin deep, Tom. Beauty. That doesn't make me feel better. Eunice says, my reasoning is, how do you jump the queue when there's a 10-year-old that needs the same up? And then, exactly. Yeah. I'd be terrified to be in South Africa without medical aid. NHS UK is just as bad. Wait timelines kill people. Is how I lost my dad. Yeah, healthcare is a big problem internationally. No, I don't think a few countries have got it right.
Everywhere.
Eunice says nurses are actually really being friendly at Charlotte. That's nice to hear. I had I had something in neurology section. Autocorrect, either autocorrect or vodka has taken that sentence out. I'm not quite sure, Barbara, be honest. Alistair is a hero. Helen Joseph Hospital could and should learn from Joburg General, says Moira de Chamois. Gail Mortensen says, gospel music always soothes the soul, like reading Psalms from the Bible. Wonderful that gospel music is played in some hospitals. Margaret says, Tom, have a look at some of my shares, please. I found some very good pieces of wisdom, including that of girlfriends and life in general. A very deep look at things we don't usually think of. It gives me... All right, I will. Yeah, so probably a day or two before I walked out of the hospital, it was probably about 7 o'clock at night. And we all knew, like, keep your possessions close to you, and the nurses warn you, like, hey, if your cell phone gets zicked, that's your problem. We're warning you, you know, don't leave your phone lying around and stuff like that. So I rolled onto my left-hand side, and I put my phone right next to my face on the pillow, like this. I thought that's close enough for someone not to take it. And I wasn't sleeping well, and I didn't expect to sleep, but I was in that half state of sleep where you're kind of awake and kind of asleep. And then at some point, and I kind of saw this person walking past me, and I thought, oh, it must be a new patient coming to the empty bed. That's what my mind thought, and I paid no attention to it. Just like a shadow. And then the guy opposite me said, hey, Tom, have you got your phone? All of a sudden, I skrukt wakker, and he said, have you got your phone? And I looked, and it wasn't next to my face anymore. And I said, no. He said, well, then I think a lady's just stolen it. And what had happened was someone had come in from another ward, and this lady had come into our ward, looked for stuff to steal, and saw me sleeping and just zicked my phone from right next to my face. But the patient on the other side saw it, and it wasn't, 10, 20 seconds had passed. And I don't know, I think I made quite a noise that night. I was screaming my lungs out. And also, for someone who couldn't walk, I ran to the door faster than an Olympic sprinter. It's funny what you'll do for your cell phone. You could be dying, and you will find the strength to go get that phone. And as I got to the door, Kobus was standing there. Do you remember? And what did you tell me?
Somebody zacked it, and give the phone a call.
Yeah, you said let's call your phone, and I thought, this oak doesn't live in the real world. I've had this before. You phone the phone and it goes, the subscriber you have dialed is not available. And the SIM card's out. And I thought, no, man, Kobus doesn't know. But anyway, I did it, and I called the phone, and we heard it. The nurse heard it ringing 4 wards down.
That's right.
And I ran down and found this lady trying to take the SIM card out under her, under the covers. And I think the nurses were expecting me to go mad and jump on top of this woman and attack her. And it almost looked like they wanted me to. It was like they wanted me to because she was a problem patient. And I just said, don't do that again. Came back. So I've got Kobus, hey, I owe you a cell phone now. I've got you to thank. Actually, the phone that I'm talking to you, Alistair, on today is the phone that you helped me rescue. That was quite a story. So, how long were you in the hospital? How long did you stay there after I left?
I was there for altogether the first time about 3 weeks. Then my second visit was 2 weeks. My third visit was a week, and then my fourth visit was broken between a week and a week. So out of the year, I was there for about 2 months.
Wow.
In a year's time.
Wow.
Up and down. So,
that's a long time. And then I think as a patient, it's worthwhile, while we're chatting about this, to mention what visits mean when people come and visit you at 3 in the afternoon and bring something for you. Isn't that the highlight of the day?
You're looking forward to it every single time. You say it's not important, you know, don't worry about me, I'm okay.
Yeah, but
when they get there, then it's really nice.
I mean, I know you're not a health expert, but from a patient side, what do you think we need to do to fix the health system in South Africa?
Oh my word! You know what? If we would go back and see how Jobert Jen, sorry, I don't know the other name, how they doing things. I think you can learn from that, because seriously, there's definitely something good happening there.
So set the benchmark.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing is there's no specific recipe to save it. You know, you basically have to go back and see what works at all the other places, and then apply that to wherever you are.
It's good thinking.
You know, but that's basically the only way to fix it. There's no remedy for it, really. We all know that, especially in South Africa. And if you don't have a medical aid, it's a problem.
Yeah, and that's 84% of South Africans, including people who go to work. It's not just people who don't work. There are many people who work who can't afford it.
Exactly that. So luckily we do have a good system going, especially look, even Helen Joseph has its ups and downs. You know, I've had good feedback from there as well. We both had bad experiences there, but it's not to say that it's everybody's experience.
That's right.
There's people that actually come out there that's perfectly fine. My one friend is in Laratong at the moment. He had a heart attack yesterday.
Yes.
The treatment there was brilliant. He said they helped him immediately when he arrived.
Well, Laratong Hospital at the moment is busy with their Serve With a Smile campaign. In fact, today they're cleaning the hospital. The staff have got involved and they're doing a big cleanup. So, I mean, all of this stuff is possible. It just requires human beings to say, yes, we can do it. It starts there, you know.
It's an attitude adjustment, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Attitude adjustment. Barbara Ann Glass said, I had them singing praise and worship songs in the neurology section of Mill Park Hospital. Apologies. No, now we get it. Okay, thanks, Barbara. Dr. Erica Shaddock and Professor Murr, pulmonologist at Charlotte, are brilliant. The ICUs run so well. Yeah, Dr. Shaddock was the doctor who saw me over the weekend before my pulmonologist came back on the Monday. And when I found out she worked in the state hospitals and she had to stick a needle in me, I thought, I wonder how gentle she's going to be. But she was fine. Also, excellent doctor. The lady took your most precious commodity at the time. What a damn cow, from the other side of the railway track, or the nut house. I think the nut house, Margaret. Some people have liked us, some have loved us. One person has laughed and no one has cried. We haven't done our jobs properly. Those people who've pressed the like and the heart and the ha-ha button, we love you. You are friends, you are kin, you are part of the tribe. If not, you are excommunicated. Like an ex-girlfriend. What a journey, Kobus. Glad you recovered so well, says Heidi. Where are the comments today? I'm looking for the comments. Sharon Hannibal says, Davis Hannibal says, hi, my friends. Hi, Sharon. Helen Mitvach says, my brother's care in high care at Helen Joseph was amazing. The doctor called us from his private cell phone with updates. You will not get that in private. That is true. And you do find exceptional doctors there. I mean, I know I've been critical of doctors, but there's some very good doctors that float around in the system. The nurses at Mill Park Hospital...
Isn't Charlotte Makeke the academic hospital?
There's more than one. Helen Joseph is also an academic hospital. Steve Biko is also an academic hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's more than one academic hospital. And Wits
Baragwanath?
is also an academic hospital. Wits University supplies patients to those hospitals. Wits University, doctors. Wits supplies doctors to Helen Joseph too.
That's right.
So, yeah. All right. So now I want to know what you've been up to, because the one thing that I think we don't talk about enough is when you go in for an op, it's all good and well. People are worried about your physical health, but you come out of there and a lot of times you don't have a job, or your business has been neglected, or you have to pick it all up again. And there's a financial cost that goes along with being sick. I don't know whether that affected you. It certainly did with me. I mean, I was scrambling for pennies after that op.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, before I went, I worked for myself. Was more a hobby at that stage, but it was something to get the cash.
I remember you telling me about it. Yes.
Yeah, and look, I had a gym during COVID, and because of COVID, the gym closed down. So I decided to do something else, which I'll tell you a bit more about now. But in that period of time, you've got to have a caregiver for your CP child. There's all types of hidden expenses.
That's right. You don't even think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, being sick is costly. So what did you do? Did you go full force into the business you had as a sideline?
You know what? When I came out, I thought to myself, you know what? I can't go and work anywhere now at that stage, especially with the lung story.
Yes.
In and out of hospital was very difficult to actually commit to any type of job. So I thought to myself, I need to find something that works for me from home. And look, like we know that it's very scarce and far in between. You don't really get a job that you can really do from home. There's a lot of scams and so on that you've got to be careful of.
Yeah.
So I approached somebody that works for Home Affairs, and I asked them, is there any gaps in the market? And I said, you know what, funny enough, the booking system on Home Affairs itself is very complex. And if there's somebody that can guide people and help them through the process, that would be great. And then I basically went for a small course and saw how the system works and so on. And the next thing I said, well, let me try book a few people. And I started booking people. So what I do is I go online, I do the booking, I do the payment for the people, and they only go in, they take their fingerprints, get it. They've got photo booths at the bank branches that I book them in.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you have your passport. 4 weeks later, you have your ID. That's very easy. Let's say you have an appointment on a Wednesday at 9 o'clock, 20 past 9, you walk out of there. That's very quick. It's very simple. But the reason I started it's because not everybody has that computer literacy.
Yeah.
So it's and not everybody can do it, because there's a few people that have said, yeah, but I can do it myself. So why do you charge people? There's not a lot of people that can do it themselves. And the system being up and down, it's difficult to manipulate it to the extent where you can actually work it yourself. Especially when you're at work and then at night the system crashes and so on. So I'm on in front of my computer. That's why I've got this as well. I'm in front of my computer the whole day.
So in other words, because I'm one of these people that hates having to fill. Firstly, I hate having to fill out forms. If you give me a form to fill out, I don't want to do it. Exactly. And it's the reason I haven't got a new smart ID. I'm still running around with my green ID book from 30 years ago.
I know to talk to, eh?
Right? And it's a problem because my Capitec app doesn't recognize my face because it's not linked to my ID and stuff like that. And I know I have to get my ID, but I'm like, it's just such a painful process, and I don't want to sit on the computer and deal with systems that are crashing or getting on at the right time. So is that what you do? If I said to you, let's take me in as example. I need a new smart ID, yes. But I could, let's say, the same would apply for a passport, right?
That's right.
So if I want a passport or an ID, what do? I get hold of you, and then what do I have to do?
Okay, so basically, you speak to me, you tell me, listen, this is what I need. I need a picture of your ID, a picture of your passport, not for the reason that I'm going to be using it on the system, but to keep it on my record so that I make sure that we don't make any mistakes with the numbers itself. I ask you a few questions. So when I went onto the system, I drew up a form that they ask you there. I drew up the exact same form, so you don't have to go in there. I'll ask you all the questions while I'm talking to you, and then basically I go onto the system, I capture it, and that's it.
Oh, so while you're talking to me?
Yes, well, I'll give you a shout, and then boom, I'll ask you a few questions, and that's it. I've tried to send the form through to people, but people are lazy filling in
Of course,
forms like
that
this.
defeats the object or the purpose
So
of it. Yeah.
what I've found is if I give you a call, it actually takes that middle thing away, and it makes it much easier because there's communication. It happens much quicker. So I've had a person that phoned me at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:15, I had his booking done. That was luck.
Really?
Okay?
Wow.
But it can happen very quickly. But the big thing that happens from your side, for instance, is 2 pictures that you need to take, and then you just accept a phone call from me, answer the questions that I asked you, and that's that. The next thing you'll be receiving a call from me from when there's look, we're looking at Nedbank, FNB app, so it doesn't matter
And
which bank.
you'll say, all right, here's an opening at this bank that you can go, and then, so I don't have to, I just sit on the phone with you and to talk to you, and then you will do all the booking, and then you will tell me when to go to the branch, to go, and you'll make it as easy as possible for me. This is amazing. If you've got any questions for Kobus, let me know. Our guest today is my fellow ward mate from a year ago, Kirstain, who is doing very well physically and has got a great business that he's launched called Phoenix Rapid ID and Passport. He will sort out your passports and your IDs. Yeah. My brother keeps wanting... Yeah.
Kobus, for pensioners, is there a charge for a passport?
Look, I'll charge you a booking fee of 200 Rand, but your passport, my normal fee for a ID is 340 Rand, and my normal fee for a passport is 800 Rand. But when you applying as a pensioner for an ID, there's actually no charge. I just charge you the booking fee of 200 Rand.
And then what do we still have? What else do you have to pay when it comes to an ID, for example?
ID is basically, the cost for an ID is 140. I charge 340.
Oh, and that includes the payments to the government or to Home Affairs?
That's right, yes. So I'm affiliated with all the banks, so it doesn't matter which bank you're with. I pay on your behalf, and you just go there. That's it. You don't have to have that bank.
So what are the rates again? It's I'm putting it up on... I'm trying to see if I got it on the screen here.
For a normal ID is 340. For a normal passport, it's 800. That's everything included. Like I said, booking fee is 200 Rand.
Wow.
And then I'm keeping it reasonable because I want to help people.
And a pensioner's ID is 200, you say?
200. They don't get charged, and first-time IDs don't get charged either. So I just charge them the 200 Rand booking fee.
That sounds fair, hey, Alistair?
And for a pensioner's passport?
No, man.
Pensioners' passport, no, passports are all the same. Doesn't matter, pensioner, minor, doesn't matter. They're all 800 Rand.
Where are you planning on going, Alistair?
I was hoping to go to the Seychelles, but...
The Seychelles?
Yeah.
How can I join?
I had a dream of going to the Seychelles. It's a beautiful place.
So I've heard.
I need to go work for Alistair, I think.
Yeah, goodness.
I know those words have never come out of my mouth. I think I'll go on holiday in the Seychelles. Oh, man. For me, I'd go have holiday with my family. Okay, let's see what people have got to say. If you've got some questions, just pop them in the comment section. I'll give them to Kobus. All right, let's see what we've got here. Donald Gordon is an academic hospital, Alistair. B. Milner says Charlotte McGecker, Helen Joseph, and Barra are some satellite hospitals, and some satellite hospitals are Wits teaching hospitals. The doctors rotate through them. Dawn Stelfox says, I can tell you a true story about NHS in Surrey, UK. My grandson could not breathe, and they still made my son wait 3 hours for help. They have since taken out private medical aid. See? You got people in the UK doing the same as in South Africa. Kobus, can you assist people in Cape Town? Asks Brenda Hall.
Yes, naturally.
Anywhere in the country?
Look, mostly Cape Town or Cape Province, Free State. There's no bank branches there, so I can help you get a booking at a normal Home Affairs, but there's no branches in the Free State. In KwaZulu-Natal, there's a few branches, and then obviously here in Joburg, we've got a few in Pretoria, a few in Centurion, and then locally at the Glen Shopping Centre, very close to us, and then a few in the West Rand.
All right, and so Cape Town, you say? Cape Town, yes.
Yes, for sure. Stellenbosch.
Durban?
Those areas out. Yes, Durban as well.
Too. Okay.
I've helped a few people in those areas.
All right, cool. Okay, Vanessa says, my daughter-in-law is a nurse in a good NHS hospital. She says they are totally overwhelmed, understaffed, and too many people. Gail says, Uniguida, that pool must be 80% P and 20% chlorine now. This is an inside joke. It's the Virgin Active Aqua Aerobics pool that I call the P pool. And I think that Gail is probably right here. If you give it enough time, you get that percentage right. Karen Atwell says, so can you help with passports? I'm an ex-South African born, but now living in the USA as a citizen. Gee whiz, that's a complicated one.
Yeah, look, it gets a little bit complicated. The neutralization thing has just come through for some countries, but not everybody. So people like, for instance, Scotland and Ireland I can book, but not England. So it's still a little bit vague on that area.
Okay.
But they're working towards it. And I mean, our new minister, he's really on the ball. He's approaching about 1,000 new banks that he's going to involve in this whole process.
Okay.
At the moment, we've only got 34 banks right over South Africa, so it's still very small.
So what we'll do is I'll tag you in this post when the video is finished, and then perhaps we can put your details in. I'll put them in the comment section. People can get hold of you that way. Otherwise, can they look for you on Facebook?
Yes, they can. It's like you said, Phoenix ID and Passport Services. So.
All right, got it. Is it Phoenix Rapid ID and Passport Services, eh?
That's it.
All right, cool. A lot of foreign
Can you help us with refugees status?
Unfortunately not, no.
Why, are you a refugee?
I can push you in the right direction, but I can't help myself.
Everyone in Germiston's a refugee. Everyone in Germiston deserves refugee status. Okay, we got a few more likes and hearts. Thank you very much if you've pressed the button. We love you. If you haven't, not so much. My daughter-in-law is a nurse. Oh, I've read that one. Fantastic work you're doing, Kobus, says Margaret Guider. Eunice says, let's say I bank with FNB, but my closest branch to an ID is Nedbank. However, I don't bank with Nedbank. Can I still go to Nedbank?
Yes, that's where I come in. I pay on your behalf through my Nedbank account. And you just go to the Nedbank.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I see the benefits here. Eh? Dawn says, Tom, lots of banks are doing ID cards. Just check if your bank is on board. What's the difference between going to the bank and coming to you?
No
filling out the forms.
Well, look, the whole thing is you can't go to the bank. You've got to make an appointment online. So that you can't go directly to these banks. If the payments online, they don't accept cards. And the booking is online.
All right, so we're back to the beginning of the discussion, which is where you come in. One simple telephone call, and Kobus does it all for you. Please put Kobus's number and email address in for us.
Okay.
You know what? I think we should do that now, and I'll pop it up on screen. So, all right, what do you want to give us? Kobus?
Yes, what I want to give you.
You want to go phone number first?
Well, let's do phone number. It's 065.
065.
090.
090.
6362.
Oh, hold on a second. I left an O there. 090. 3632.
No, 6362.
You can tell there's dyslexia in my family, hey? 065 090 6362. Is that right?
That's the one, yes.
All right, I'm popping it up on screen. I'm going to leave it up on screen. 065 090 6362. In fact, I'll move that up a little bit so that it's out of the way of any of Facebook's writing and comments and things. So it's going to be in the middle of the screen, but it will be where you can see it. You get hold of Kirstain, 065 090 6362. Your fees are very reasonable, says Una. Heather Kozakiewicz says, is Kobus only doing bookings in Joburg? No, he can do bookings from outside of Joburg as well. Margaret says, we need to speak German to renew our Austrian passports. Can you help us with this dynamic? Our German is almost non-existent in the Austrian embassy. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot.
I've got a German friend I can introduce you to.
Is it? I was just thinking, there's a difference between, I don't know, English, Afrikaans, and German. All right. Yeah, you need someone who speaks German to do that. My goodness. Eunice says, oh, great. We'll definitely use those services for my passport. Saves me a long drive to Sandton from Velties.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I can make it local at Nedbank.
And I will use you for my ID book. All right.
Wonderful.
Okay, so I think you've got 2 customers so far.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Been there, done that. No agents assisting with the Austrian embassy at all. Please supply Kobus's mail address. Well, we've gone with phone number here. It's up on screen.
Yes. Just WhatsApp me. I'll send you my email address as well.
All right, cool. You can wait 10 hours in our government emergency departments here. That's true. No, the chlorine smell was strong and clean on Wednesday. back to the people we go. Here's the people report. Alistair wants the document to be an Amerikaner.
That's a whole new thing on its own. Going for the refugee thing.
I don't think Kobus does that. I don't think he does the...
I can put you in contact with the right people. I do assist. I've assisted quite a few of them.
But aren't we too old to go to America?
No, not at all.
Really? With refugees, you can be whatever age you want.
And I've got 2 sons too that are the right age.
So, are you really going to America, Alistair?
I'm looking into it. At this point, nothing has been completed that I'm going.
Have you thought where you're going to go?
Yeah.
Where?
Oklahoma.
To Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. There we go. Very very flat in Oklahoma. And it's a Bible belt, so you'll have to brush up on your Christianity, atheist. I'm in a Manzum Toti. Any advice where to go? Says Heather.
Yes. I've got a whole list of tank branches. When you give me a shout, then I'll show you what's the closest to you.
All right, cool. Dawn says my passport was only 600 Rand.
Yes. And it's a 200 Rand for the booking fee, so it's 800 altogether.
There we go. So 800, and then Kobus makes 200. Come on, Dawn.
That makes something.
Come on, Dawn. Come on, Dawn. Come on, Dawn. If you are not born in South Africa but have a green ID book, do I qualify for a card yet? Asks Marlene.
Depends on the neutralization thing. It depends on where you were born before, because there's certain countries that they've opened now recently this year. So depending on
Marlene must WhatsApp you. Marlene should WhatsApp you. Okay. I'll put the number back on the screen. I'm a British citizen but permanent resident of SA with a very broken ID. Where do I stand regarding the new card system? Last time I inquired, I wasn't eligible. Same story. Hey.
Not yet. We're waiting. We're waiting for our minister to open that for us.
Okay, got it. Can you phone on WhatsApp? Can someone give you a WhatsApp call?
Yeah, of course. No problem.
All right, cool. We'll use Kobus for my ID book. Yay! Says Barbara Ann Glass. We're raking in the customers. Well, I hope we are. That this chat today is worth your while. Heather Knickelbein says
yours for free, Tom.
All right, cool. How many for mine for free? 100. 100.
Yeah, of course.
Smart ID free for pensions, 130 for first time. Yeah. We know this, but this is if you don't want to fill out the forms and go running up and down, you give Kobus a call. You see, he sorts all that out for you. I would have taken you for going to Texas, Alistair, says Una. I had a friend come back from Texas, and I said, "What was it like?" And he said, "It was like one big Thunderbell park."
It's true. I've got a friend that came from Texas said exactly the
also, Thunderbell. It's one big Thunderbell park. That's Texas. And people used to ask me what Los Angeles is like, especially, outside of the fancy areas. It was just like Boxburg. It's like very similar to the East Strand there. Oh, yeah, but where are you going again? Where do you want to go again? Oklahoma, hey?
Oklahoma, yeah.
It gets cold there in winter. What are you going to do when you...
No, it doesn't.
Oklahoma in winter?
Oklahoma's it's the middle of everywhere.
No, man. We're going to have an argument over this. In fact, I'm going to go onto the internet and type in, how cold does Oklahoma...
It gets down into the 60s.
Yeah, but that's... Hold on. I think you've got wishful thinking going on here.
No.
Oklahoma winters are chilly with average lows in the 20s and 30s.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's Fahrenheit.
Oh, Fahrenheit, that's really bad. That's really bad.
That's Fahrenheit, baby. 30 degrees is naught, and 20 degrees is like -10, China.
That is really cold.
And then
20 degrees about -2. It's the same as if you go living in Cape Town.
No, it's not. No. We can have this argument all day long because you get cold snaps there. You get extreme cold spells where the temperature goes down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you're sitting at -20 or thereabouts. I'm telling you, the Midwest, I've lived there. I lived in Iowa. It's not that far away from it. You don't know, that cold is on another level. You walk out and touch something metal, you're stuck to it. If your car breaks down and you don't have a blanket or something, you just pass away on the side of the road. It's like a reality there. You think you're going to Joburg, Oklahoma, where there's no Joburg weather anywhere in the world except Joburg, China.
For sure.
You're gonna freeze your bollokies off in winter there.
If that's the case, then I'll freeze my bollokies off. But I will adjust. I will adapt.
All right.
You know what they say, adapt and overcome.
All right, so you want to go to Oklahoma. Wow, I thought it was Texas. Moira says, I'll also use Quibus. Thank you. The more we support each other, the better. I'm going to post on USA sites I belong to. Plenty of people need this, says Karen. Eunice says, I need my joke of a passport if I want to dive in Mozambique, so I may as well do it. Go for it. Karen Atwell says, hey, you guys leave Texas alone. Oklahoma. And then Karen says, Oklahoma gets snow.
Yes.
It does.
It does. And it goes,
Yeah, lots of it sometimes. Dude, I promise you, that place is cold in winter.
but Alistair, if you like snowmen, there's no problem with that, eh?
No, if he enjoys being freezing cold and snow, then he's going to...
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, he's going to be happy there. Alistair is swapping underground miners for oil drillers, says Mandy. Tom London is correct about the cold, says Karen. I know. I've lived there. It gets so cold. Some days they say no one must go outside. It's too dangerous to go out your door. Too dangerous.
And then you stay inside. The houses are built to cope with it.
You're 100%
They have a
right.
thing
No,
called double glazing.
you're 100%. And I've lived in an insulated house like that. And you can walk around in T-shirts and shorts while it's -40 outside. But you can't go anywhere. You just sit in your house all day long and night long. It's like my brother's in the United Arab Emirates, and they got the opposite problem. In summer, it's too hot to go outside, so you spend the whole of summer indoors. We don't know that as South Africans. It's fremd to us. We walk outside in winter, not in Oklahoma, I promise you.
I don't want to go to Florida.
No.
Florida, you have to hang on to the trees at a parallel to the ground while you're blowing away.
Once in a while, like the extremely cold snaps in Oklahoma. You know why people, you know who lives in Florida?
Pensioners.
People from Oklahoma. It's true. They call them the snowbirds. They have a name for them. They call them the snowbirds. The winter hits in the Midwest, and all the old people, they're all old. They live to like 100 in the Midwest. They drive their Cadillacs all the way to Florida, and they go sit there for 6 months because it's too cold. There's a it's probably one of the least most populous states in America, and there's a reason for that. There's a very big reason. It's called the weather.
I think he's just changed his mind, I'm sure.
No, I definitely hasn't. I definitely haven't, because he's got a DOS Farm shirt on that cost like 4 million rand or something. I don't know. It's like a Fikile and Balula shirt, that one.
1,000
It's
rand.
like a Kenny Konene shirt that he's got on this afternoon, like a very expensive shirt. So are you going to go work at Das Farms, or what's the story?
I'll go help out, yeah.
You see, there's more to this, Quibus. He actually knows which farm. He knows which farm he's going to.
It's a plot.
But do you have to prove you're a farmer if you want to go, Alistair?
No, you don't.
Not.
No.
So vegetable garden in the backyard doesn't
That doesn't work.
doesn't help. Eh?
It's not going to count in your favor.
Are you going to Oklahoma, Quibus, or are you staying here like me?
I'm just staying here. So
Yeah, same. All right. Margaret Gator says, thanks for coming on the show, Quibus. Fantastic that we can all sort our IDs out, whatever, with you and skip so many in-between problems. You deserve a coffee. May as well move to Mother Russia, Mother Russia. You may as well move to Mother Russia for the cold. I thought Alistair doesn't like the USA. No.
What?
Alistair's a big fan of America. I also love America. It's just Tonya who's got the problem with America. That's that thing of 2 out of 3 of us on the show. That's
They got the wrong 1 out of the 3 to point the finger at.
But I don't necessarily want to move to America. I love South Africa. So it would take, I'd have to have a Hollywood offer or something to go, that kind of money to go, and then I'd go live in Los Angeles for sure. I'd go live in
Half of the
Malibu.
people in Los Angeles are moving to Florida.
Yes, they're not moving to Oklahoma, and that should tell you something. Oh my word, Toronto takes the cake, says Dawn. Are there yellow roses in Texas, Karen? You know that song. Yes, Alistair, then you can't afford to heat it at the house. No, he's going to get, I don't know, they give you free heat there when you're a refugee in Oklahoma. You get free heat.
Now, for the first year, they cover most of your expenses.
Oh, you know all the details.
I know some of the details. I don't know all of them.
Wow. Oh, and they talk differently in Oklahoma. You come from Oklahoma. They talk like that in Oklahoma. As far as I know, Texas is lovely weather. Yeah, Texas is much better weather. Don't listen to them, Alistair. The cold air keeps you looking young, frozen in time. Margaret Guider says, give me my Joburg day any day to anywhere in the USA. Sorry to everyone like Karen and Alistair. I agree. I think the only place in America that comes close would be Los Angeles side, California, that part of Southern California. Similar. But then you got the earthquakes, and we don't have those in Joburg. Hey, Alistair, you can't leave us and head for the USA. We'll miss you.
I'm going to come and live at the East End for a while and see about the earthquakes.
Yeah, but that's because you're living literally on top of Zamazamas. Like, literally. You're meters ahead from a Zamazama's helmet. Right, but like 4 meters below you right now, there's a guy making $100,000 a month. Right below you.
Bangkok, Tom.
As an American, I say it's a great place for a vacation, says GCC Prez. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. And thank you to our YouTube viewers for joining us. I'm deeply grateful that our YouTube audience is growing, and that's lovely. So, Quibus Lackerman, people can get hold of you on 065 010 6362. WhatsApp is a great way to speak to Quibus. If you need your passport or ID sorted out, go and chat to him. His fees are very, very, very reasonable. Phoenix Rapid ID and Passport Services, if you want to find him on Facebook. I'll pop the comments in the comment section as soon as the show ends. Right, if I can get a chance to meet Brad Pitt, I will do whatever I can to find you a place as an actor, Tom says. But I almost bumped into Brad Pitt once, like literally, like in Cape Town, in Camps Bay. He was in Cape Town, and I was with my family, and we were going to, I don't know, Cafe Caprice or one of those places that you just tell people, let's go there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking around the corner from Dizzy's. There was a parking lot opposite Dizzy's, and I was walking around the corner, and this guy came walking towards me, and I thought, that's Brad Pitt. But your brain can't register properly. It's like, no, man, what would he be doing walking around in the streets of Cape Town? And then he walked past me because I was walking ahead of my family. And as I turned around, I just saw 4 people standing there like this. And so, yeah, I didn't even say anything. I was just like, huh? No, man, what are you doing in Camps Bay, dude? But anyway, I don't know. Maybe he was visiting
Making a
someone.
movie, man. Making a movie.
Yeah, making a
Do you know there's a
movie.
guy walking around in Cape Town that looks like Rod Stewart?
Oh, really?
He's a spitting image for Rod Stewart, and he actually does
Yes, I saw the
double
photo.
for.
Yes, I saw that actually. It was a thing on Facebook. I remember. I saw it.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Quite
that's.
weird.
I'm just looking at the time, and I've earned my money today, so I'm thinking it's time that we call Friday to an end and say was a weekend and welcome the weekend together. Kirstain, thank you, man. Thanks for joining me, and I'm so glad you're alive. Like,
Thank you so much, Tom.
and I often wonder what happened to the other people in the ward.
Yeah, I'm in contact with a few of the people, and they seem to be doing fine. I was
Like
actually
Rocky.
lying.
There's a guy called Rocky in the bed next to me. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I don't know what happened to him. And then the guy in the bed opposite me, I think Collins was his surname. It was Michael Collins or something. I wish I knew what happened to him. I've tried to find out, but I haven't.
That guy that had that diarrhea as well, that hectic diarrhea.
Yes.
Him.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually contacted that same diarrhea from him, pushing him around.
Oh, no, because you were the one. I had a guy opposite me. He had the worst diarrhea anybody's ever had. He couldn't sit down for 2 seconds without having to go back. And, of course, the guy is, like, in big trouble. And Querbus, as sick as Querbus was, I got to tell you, I lay in my bed watching you do this, and I thought, how are you doing this? Because Querbus was carrying this machine around that was busy sucking fluids out of his lungs, and then he would push Collins up and down to the toilet and back in the wheelchair. I'll never forget you doing that, eh?
Unfortunately, I paid the price after that.
So you picked up his spade poop. It's not that funny, but anyway.
What did they say? What's that saying that a good deed never goes unpunished?
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. All righty, I think that's it for the afternoon. Emily Hudson says, thanks so much for the very informative show today. Thanks, Kirstain, for all the best for your business. We'll contact you soon. Blessings for the weekend, baby hearts. Was a weekend, Mzanzi says, Unagaida. Helen Mitvach says, have a great weekend. Let's hope it rains. Awesome, Kirbis, that you are well now. Thanks, Tom. Margaret Guida says, I'm thrilled that the two of you made you. Tom and Kirbis, amazing! 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 And there's Alistair. He's fine, except there's something wrong with his head if he thinks it's warm in Oklahoma. Have you watched Tulsa King?
Yeah.
That's where you're going, dude. Tulsa King.
Brilliant.
That's where you're off to. You're off to Tulsa. Yeah. There we go. And Tulsa's the biggest, probably the biggest city in Oklahoma.
It is.
And they'll put you somewhere much smaller. It will look like Nigel. You okay with that?
I'm okay with
It might be an upgrade from Germiston.
It definitely will be.
Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm going to get on a roll and people will say I'm nasty. Kirstain has been our... No, man, it's a pleasure, Kirbis. Kirstain has been our guest today. He's got a company which he's put all his effort into since his recovery at Helen Joseph and Charlotte McKay Hospital last year. He was in big trouble, but he's alive and he marches forward. He's got 4 kids to feed, man. 4 bloody mouths to feed in that house, plus a wife. He's got a lot of people to feed, so support him. If you need your ID book done or you need your passport done, he will take the messing with the computer right out of the equation for you. You just speak to him on the phone, and then a few weeks later, bang, you got your passport and your ID. Get hold of Kirstain on 065-010-6362. We wish you lots of luck, Kirbis, and I hope that my viewers and the people that watch the show will support you and spread the word. But thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to you for joining me today, and I wish you lots of success, and I hope we get together soon and have a coffee or a dop or something.
That sounds good.
All right.
Sounds like it. All right.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, and a Gunston plane.
Maybe not.
No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. All right. And there in Primrose Hill, although he's basically an Oklahoman by now, is Alistair Jameson. Thank you, Alistair.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. It's been a great afternoon. It's been great meeting Kirbis.
It has
very privileged to meet the man. I just want to say hi to Gaynor Schulenberg in Cape Town. How's it, Gaynor? Nice to have you on the show today.
Why Gaynor Schulenberg in particular?
Gaynor has a back problem that she has not been able to cure and is in serious pain all the time.
Oh, well, then we send all our good wishes and thoughts out to Gaynor this afternoon. Gaynor, we're all thinking of you and hope your back is better. My back's better. I ate an anti-inflammatory yesterday. My stomach's shot, but I just swap one problem for another. That's what I do. But I'm upright. I'm upright today, thank God. All right. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please share it if you think other people could benefit from it or use Kobus's services. And I will be back with you again on Tuesday. Have a lekker weekend. I might pop up on a late night chat over the weekend. But if I don't, I'll see you Tuesday for another Tom London show. This show was brought to you by Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers.
And don't forget to tell them Tom sent you.